You want to move to Aurora and you're not sure if Aurora is just as good or better than Denver? We're going to talk about all of those myths today, and we're going to debunk everything that all your haters are saying about Aurora. So let's dig right on in. Myth number 1, Aurora is just a Denver suburb. What? I don't think so. Yeah, no.
I disagree.
Like, it's got its own different vibe, so big, so many other things. But reality is that Aurora is the 3rd largest city in Colorado with its own unique character, amenities. There's so much to do, from the airport to the foothills. I mean, it's literally the place where the deer, the antelope, and the whatevers roam. Like, all the different, all of the different animals, where they all roam, and you can really take advantage of all of the really cool things there. It also offers a lot of conveniences. Aurora is a very commuter-friendly area. There are a lot of grocery stores, diverse grocery stores, y'all. Like, you can get food from all types of cultures in Aurora, and you can't get that in all of the areas of the Denver metro area, and Aurora is the place that you're going to get that. All right, so let's talk about myth number 2. Aurora doesn't have a cultural scene.
Lies.
All lies.
All lies.
Reality is that Aurora is home to lots of diverse cultural spots and festivities around the town. There's the Aurora Fox Center, which has a lot of theater stuff and all kinds of really cool things that they do. There's also the Stanley Marketplace, which used to be an airport hangar when the Denver International Airport used to be in the Stapleton. It used to be Stapleton? Stapleton Airport. And so it's really cool, got a really cool vibe in there, like food scene, all kinds of good stuff like that. We also have art galleries, music venues, lots of small theaters, community centers, so many things to do. In fact, I have a guide, so if you want the guide, drop a comment below or click the link that is below, where we're going to be able to give you one of those guides that gives you all of the really cool communities and neighborhoods across Aurora and what makes them special. All the way from African American culture, Asian culture, Hispanic culture, like all of the different cultures and everything in between. So let us know if you want that, and I'll get that sent over to you.
I also heard that Aurora doesn't have a cultural scene, but I feel like you kind of just said that's not true. Is that right?
No, not at all. Aurora, again, it is massive. So when you think of Denver International Airport, that's the north side of Aurora. And it goes all the way to like basically Parker. So it's a massive amount of land. And then it also goes east and west. But because of that, again, with all of those pocket communities, if you wanted to live like that very suburban lifestyle and live that suburban mom life, you know, if you're a white van or wait, is a white SUV or black SUV?
Yes.
I don't know. But
right.
Yeah, you can really take advantage of that life, but it has a lot of arts. So there's the Fox Art Center, which has a lot of really cool stuff on Colfax, like Havana area. So many really cool things to do there. Lots of art festivals that they do. The Southland Shopping Center does a lot of cultural events as well there. The city of Aurora puts on an annual World Festival that really takes advantage of all of the really cool things.
What kind of cultures are represented in countries?
All around the world.
That's awesome.
So you can get, and it's really cool because they celebrate the cultures through music and dance and food, arts and crafts. Like, think of like one of those big like city festivals with booths and different artisans that you can buy from, but you can kind of walk around and experience all of the really cool things. That is what you get with that World Center. And you can eat your weight in amazing food that you just can't get lots of places. Like Ethiopian food, Vietnamese food, Japanese, Mexican. They do have Filipino.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I know. You should go and like do a
Try
whole,
it.
Yeah, and say like, this is like to my standards
This
or
is
not.
good.
Yeah, because I do the same thing with Mexico. Like, so quick question, sorry, an aside, but when you eat Filipino food that is not yours or your family's Filipino food, like, what do you do to test like this is good or authentic? Like, what is your like dish or like thing?
So my dish is actually adobo or pancit. Adobo is just kind of like a marinated meat with soy sauce and vinegar. And then pancit is our noodle dish. And like you can make pancit different ways, but I want that to have so many vegetables and all of the seasoning. And sometimes when you go places, it's just salt and pepper and it's not the same. What's yours?
Rice and beans.
Oh.
It is so crazy how many people don't do good rice and beans.
Like Pinto beans?
Yeah, like
Oh,
refried
okay.
beans, not just like the pinto. Like,
Okay.
let's be real, this isn't Chipotle. So, like, you have to get like the real food. But like rice and beans, that's how you know if it's really good, authentic. Really, really good. So, anyways,
that.
so yeah, there's lots of different cultural stuff. The cultural scene is amazing. Chef's kiss, lots of great food, shopping, the whole nine.
I heard that Aurora isn't a family-friendly city.
Nope, not true. Not true at all. There's so many things to do. I'm gonna get all fired up here. Let me just get
comfortable.
situated. No, it actually is an amazing place to raise a family, and there's so many family-friendly activities to do in the city of Aurora. So Aurora is home to multiple different school districts, lots of really great stuff like that. And then the rec centers have a lot of great events for kids, families. In fact, the City of Aurora Parks and Rec, they do this like baking classes, or not baking, cooking classes. So you can do all these different cooking classes to do baking, like pizza making or whatever, and it's super affordable, way more affordable than like the big store cooking classes, and it's a lot more family friendly, and it's at the rec center, so it's like really cool. And what's even better is like, so here's like my parent tip for that one. Let's say you want to do a date night with your significant other, but you have kiddos, right? So you want to do date night with your significant other, you have kiddos. They don't want to do so you can do the cooking class at the rec center while your kiddos go play basketball or whatever in the rec center. So
smart.
Yeah.
Entertain the children and then have an adults night. I love that.
And then if there's extra food, you take it home for leftovers. You just got to bring your own your own like to go. And you best believe I was bringing my to go Tupperware. Yeah.
You made that.
And I paid for it. So I'm going to get it. Like, if I paid for it, I'm going to take those leftovers.
That's fair. So on top of it being Aurora, as people here say, I've also heard that the schools aren't great.
No, that's not true. Aurora has multiple school districts. So what's really cool about Aurora, diversity just across all different gamuts, right? So the Aurora school system is incredibly diverse. So there are pockets of the city of Aurora that are really like into charter schools or their charter school system. So you get to choose, and a lot of those charter schools are based like on language immersion schools. Some of them are STEM related or STEAM related. There's art schools as well. So there's a lot of that charter school system that you can participate in. They also have two really big school districts. So there's the Aurora Public School District and the Cherry Creek School District. Both are great schools. They offer different things. Some have more schools, bigger schools. It just depends on what is best for you and your family. One thing that I will say that I love is that it's an incredibly rich, diverse area. So my kiddos are exposed to lots of different cultures, and they're exposed to lots of great opportunities to learn from each other. And fun fact, Aurora Public Schools actually pays their early education teachers. They have one of the highest pay scales for them. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah. So a lot of people think that like other schools or private schools have like they pay their teachers more. Yeah. That's not true. The Aurora Public Schools is truly investing a lot into their educators, especially early education. So because of that, I mean, come on now, you're going to go where you're paid most, right?
Of course.
And so a lot of the really top tier teachers are in the Aurora Public School system.
I also heard that Aurora is just an urban sprawl.
No, yeah, I know. It's crazy. Like when you think like big cities, again, third largest city in Colorado, you're probably thinking, okay, there's high rises, everybody's like right on top of each other. And though there are neighborhoods that are like that, like if you think of the Northfield area, that is like parts of it are Denver, parts of it Aurora. So when you think of that little area, like some of that is, but it's by design, right? Like if that's what you want, you can get that. However, if you go into some of the other areas, let's say the older areas that have no HOA, which some of the older like 1950s styles houses, you have really big lots. And that's why a lot of investors really like them as well. No HOA, really big lots, massive, big, beautiful backyards and front yards. And so you can take advantage of that kind of stuff. And there's the other newer parts that are in the far eastern side or southeast Aurora, where there's lots of like open space, and every single community has a lot of green space. The city of Aurora prioritizes green space. They actually have ordinances on the number of trees that you have to have in front of your house.
Oh.
And how much green space, like how much grass and stuff that you have, because they're really prioritizing that outdoor style living, and they really want it to be a beautiful place to live. It's not a flat plains area. It's lots of diverse, rich topography, parks, the whole nine.
Doesn't a lot of the communities in Aurora, like the newer built communities, don't they have walking trails and things like that? They're really trying to implement the outdoors.
Yes, 100%. So when you think of, for example, South Shore neighborhood, they have walking trails that connect you to the Aurora Reservoir. So you want to go like, you can just right from the neighborhood, you connect to it. And you can go like do biking, walking trails. You can take your paddleboard. A lot of people who live in that area like carry their paddleboards to the reservoir.
I mean, why not?
Yeah, exactly. Like it's really, really cool. And they have dog parks. So if you have fur babies, they have dog parks in all the neighborhoods as well.
So Aurora is far and doesn't have dining options.
I'm
zero fine dining options.
That's so funny. We just talked about how we have like such a diverse cultural area. So you are going to get some of the finest ethnic foods available, like very, very diverse food scene in the city of Aurora. You can, like I said, like there really isn't many places where you can get really good Ethiopian food, and you can find really good Ethiopian food in Aurora. When you think of Colorado in general, people think Mexican food, but you know, the Latin food area is like so diverse. So you can get Colombian food, you can get Puerto Rican food. There's so many really cool places that you can go and get all kinds of diverse food options in the city of Aurora.
So piggybacking on kind of just what you said, I mean, outside of food dining, like there's nothing to do in Aurora.
You mean there's not like food dining isn't the only, like that's life, right? Isn't food life?
That's kind of my life. That's
my life too. I love me a good, yeah. So there is actually a lot to do in Aurora. Aurora is home to 3 reservoirs. So if you like water sports, yes, you can do that in Colorado, and you can do it in Aurora. I just talked about how paddleboarding is a really big thing. You can do scuba diving at the Aurora Reservoir.
What?
Yeah, you can do scuba diving at the Aurora Reservoir. Paddleboarding, sailing, rowing. I know a lot of row teams that practice at the reservoirs in Aurora as well. So water sports, tons of stuff to do there. We have 8+ golf courses, ranging from private golf courses to public golf courses. So if golfing is more your jam, there's lots and lots of golf courses. And with 300+ sunny days a year in Colorado, you can definitely nearly golf all year round. There's very few days that you can't golf. So golfing is another thing. There's biking trails, walking trails. There's also conservatory kind of places. Is that right?
Conservatory?
Not conservatory. That's what Britney Spears had, right?
Yeah, I was like...
Yeah, not that. Conservation.
There we go.
Conservation space.
Yeah, that's off of like Hampton and Gun Club, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So the conservation spaces are really cool because it's like a historical walkthrough. They have teepees and they just talk about the historical context of the area. So really, and it's free. So it's really fun stuff that you can do. And just, I mean, you don't have to spend a lot of money. And then there's
horse racing.
I can talk,
There's horse racing.
Yes, there is horse racing. There is horse racing in the city of Aurora. Bet you didn't know that. Now you know that. You can do horse racing. You can also do all kinds of other things. Like the Southland Shopping Center in Southeast Aurora is so good about putting events all year round. They have, in the wintertime, they have the ice skating rink that they do. Yeah. They have, in the summer, they have like concerts in the park.
Splash pads,
the farmer's market, the wine walks. They do wine walks there too. I mean, there really is a lot to do.
About this.
Yeah. And you don't have to worry about parking. Like when you think of like going to the events in Denver, how many times are you like, where am I going to park? What's the traffic going to be like? Should I take a bus? Should I whatever? Like don't worry about any of that when you come to events in Aurora, because that's not a thing, which is pretty awesome.
So I've heard Aurora housing is so expensive.
Really?
Yes.
They're on crack.
What? All right. Well.
No, I mean, Aurora housing is not expensive relative to the rest of the metro area. In fact, Aurora is one of the most affordable parts of the metro area, and that's why I choose to live in Aurora. My house would be easily $500,000 to $600,000 more if I lived on the west side of the metro area. So I'm able to get a beautiful house with lots of things that I wouldn't be able to get on the west side of town, which is pretty amazing. Damn! But on top of that, there is a lot of diversity in the home types that they have and the home prices that they have in Aurora. So the OG part of Aurora, so Central Aurora in that area, that has like older homes that we talked about already with those like bigger lots, no HOAs. Those tend to be much more affordable, and a lot of people are actually attracted to that area. In particular, a lot of investors are taking those areas and really pouring into those communities and revitalizing it by adding updates, making it more modern, and adding a lot of really cool amenities. But you get that lot and you have no HOA, which is so
phenomenal.
Cool. Yeah, really, really cool. But then you can also like live in like subdivision areas as well if you want to spend a little bit more. You don't have to spend that much more. Like, it's incredibly affordable relative to the rest of the metro area.
The Aurora job market is limited. I hear that a lot.
Everybody thinks jobs are in Denver. Like, everybody's like, Denver. I mean, you hear the Denver Tech Center, downtown Denver. That's like, if you want to deal with like traffic and all that other stuff, yeah, go work there. However, there is a ton of opportunity for jobs in Aurora. Aurora has a ton of healthcare opportunities. When you think of the medical center that's off of 225 and like 6th Avenue area, there's the VA, Children's Hospital, CU Denver Hospital. All three of them are right there. So, and they're teaching schools too. So there's educator jobs for colleges and everything like that in that area. Because of its proximity to the airport, there are a lot of jobs in the travel industry. So if you work in the travel industry, tons of jobs in that area. Also close to military base or former military base, so you can get a lot of government. The Space Force is in Aurora as well. So lots of government jobs.
Space Force is in Aurora?
Yeah, the Space Force is in Aurora.
On Buckley Air Force?
Yeah, right across from Buckley.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, so the Space Force. I think it's so funny that the Space Force is this, I mean, it's essentially the Star Trek logo. But
you would know.
Yes, I would know. But the Space Force is there. So all of those government jobs, and I mean, obviously education job, aerospace, because again, close to the proximity to the airports. And because the city of Aurora is one of 3 large cities in the state of Colorado, there are a lot of government jobs as well. And I think that a lot of people, even locals, they're like, oh, I'm going to get a government job, so I'm going to go work for the city and county of Denver. And you can absolutely do that. However, there's just as many, if not more, jobs in the city of Aurora. Very, very diverse, from like working in food service all the way to working in technology, or I mean, obviously there's politics and all of that fun stuff as well, but there's definitely a ton of job opportunities in the city of Aurora, and a lot of small to medium-sized businesses prefer Aurora because the rent is cheaper as well. So small businesses are really what keeps our economies going, and the fact that so many of them are attracted to Aurora means there's going to be a lot of jobs in that area.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of growth there. So another one of the things that people always like to say is that Aurora is in the Eastern Plains, and it's flat and it's dry.
I think that's funny. I really think that's funny. So there are a couple of things, right? So I always joke that the person who said that I walked uphill both ways to school in the snow. Barefoot. Lived in Aurora, because there's so many areas. Like when I walk around the community and I'm walking and I'm like, okay, I'm going uphill. That means that the rest of it's downhill. Then you might go downhill, but then you're going to go back uphill again. Like, it's so diverse. Like, it's very hilly. The rolling plains is what a lot of people like to say. There's so much of that. Other thing, when we talk about the diversity of the topography in the city of Aurora, we have, I think it's the Black Hills Forest Protected Land that runs through the Talons Reach community. It is gorgeous. So that is a protected wildlife little pocket of area. So when they developed that community, they built the homes around it. And so when you're driving through that community, where you think of like most streets, you're going straight, right? So you're going straight this way, you're going to turn. And
north, south, east, west.
Exactly. When you drive through that community, you're going through lots of different curves, and you're doing all of that because the community was built around this area. So when you live in that community, especially when you're close to the trees, you feel like you're in the mountains. Like the deer even love to like huddle down in there. It's gorgeous. Like, it's so pretty. So there's that. And then there are the golf course communities. Remember, we have 8+ golf courses. So a lot of the communities, you can get a golf course view and take advantage of someone else maintaining the green space that's behind you without any neighbors. So it's really, really phenomenal it's so diverse.
Like, imagine just walking out and there's a deer hanging out in your front yard.
You know what's really cool too? So I'm gonna get a little like cheesy, but when you live in an area that's close to the reservoir, remember we have 3 reservoirs in the city of Aurora. So
Okay.
if you happen to have a home that backs to the reservoir, think of this. So I just want you to imagine this, and I'm gonna be really cheesy, so just bear with me. But we're gonna eat the cheese.
We're going there.
Yeah, we're gonna go right there. So go ahead and just like close your eyes.
Okay, I'm
No,
gonna-
just-
I'm gonna-
So imagine that you are waking up in the morning and you're on your back porch, and it's a cold day. And there's a little bit of fog that's just above the reservoir, so it's just a light level fog, and the sun is starting to come to rise, right? And you're sitting there with your cup of coffee in your hand.
Cozy.
Yeah, you're just
Cozy.
imagining it.
You're
It's just
cozy.
so phenomenal. And the sun is rising and creating a purple haze. And then the sun and then the yellow, and it just comes up. You can't get that in the city, y'all.
No, you really can't.
And you can get that in Aurora.
Wow.
It is so magical. I love it. It's so, so pretty. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that now every one of you that watched this video wants to live in Aurora. I mean, if you don't, why? Like, what were you, like, were you even listening? Like, seriously, were they listening, Leona?
No.
Yeah, I
You're
don't
on
think
me
so.
up.
Yeah. So we want to take you around Aurora. We love Aurora. Both of us have done a ton of business in Aurora. A lot of our clients love Aurora.
Yeah.
We're big fans. If you couldn't tell, big fan of Aurora.
We'll even take you to some authentic restaurants that are holes in the walls that we enjoy. We love taking our clients to explore the culture of Aurora.
100%. I love a good hole in the wall place. Oh, I'm going to do a name drop because now I'm hungry. Wing Hut.
Wing Hut. I love Wing Hut.
People don't know about Wing Hut. Now you're going to Google Wing Hut and
Yeah.
you're going to go there. It is so freaking good. Mouth-watering good. Their sauces, their funnel fries, like everything is chef's kiss. So we should do a video there.
We
That would be
should.
so much fun. I mean, and then would give us an
Who thinks we
excuse.
should do a video?
Yeah, if you think we should do a video there, like drop a comment below and say like do a video there, and then maybe we can like do some kind of raffle or something and give someone
Ooh, free stuff.
free stuff.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, y'all. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Remember, if you need anything that related to real estate, you have any questions, you want to buy, sell, move to Aurora, Colorado, or anywhere in the Denver metro area, give us a call. We'd be happy to help you. Thanks, y'all. Bye.